Martin Thomas been on the verges of the French team for the last couple of years. He doesn't have chances to race in all, but it's 2 Frenchies in the final with the Olympic champion Denis Gago-Chenou with him as well. So the idea, we're just going to explain how, when, why and what they're going.
Yeah, I mean, this top bit is kind of a bit of an easy start into the course, if you like, and it really just gets harder from here. Once you come out of these double ups, you're really getting into the bits where there's a lot of potential for errors. Seeing most of these left-handed paddlers going forward there and spin, with the exception of Markkleeberg.
Yeah.
But even with the left-handed paddle, you struggle to get to gate 7. He's going back around.
Come on.
You know, having seen the finals in the last few weeks in most of the classes, though, on these hard courses, you just don't know what's going to happen. He really needs to try and get back online and just make the best of the rest of the course and put that mistake behind him.
Yes, it's time to rehab and to keep fighting.
And your run yesterday, you decided to put some tricks in. You did an Eskimo turn.
Well, at the semi-final, yes, but the final was quite better.
So coming in here, is it exhausting coming across here? Because there's quite a lot of flat water, isn't there?
Yeah, it's hard there, and you are just in the middle, so there is still a long way to end, so it's hard. She chose the spin here. It's time to catch the ball.
David, what happened with you on 17? You
yeah, I just took a bit much of the stopper, got held in there and lost a bit of time. Martin looks like he's had a reasonably good run, with the exception of that having to go back around for that gate, although a touch picked up there. I think it's going to be a bit slow and not looking likely to challenge for the medals today for him, I'm afraid.
Well, first of 10 to go. His time in the semi-finals was, with penalties, was 1:04, so he's well down on there.
Tries to push harder and everything can happen.
Jørgen Badura, representing Norway now.
Yes, nice smile.
Is 7th last weekend, so he's certainly one of the 3 athletes that made the final last weekend.
Yeah, really good for him to get into a couple of finals. He's quite new to racing on the World Cup circuit, having competed for Slovakia for a long time, and that's a very difficult team to get into. But now that he's changed to compete for Norway, he's getting a chance to start these races and get himself in amongst the final, beating 2 of his fellow Slovaks, in fact, to do so.
Yeah, if you can beat Slavkovsky and Beneš, there's something going correctly right.
Come on, straight and spin there.
Yeah, good solid turn. He's made really good work of that. He's certainly going to be up on Martin Thomas at this stage.
Well, look at that, 2.8 up.
Oh, come on.
Unfortunately, he looks to have got away from a little bit. Just as we were saying, he was going all right on the top. No penalties yet, though, and a lot to happen on the bottom.
So lost a bit of speed there as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough move. It's a little stopper that can really catch you one way or the other, and he just didn't quite do enough and fell onto his edge, and as a result took that penalty as well.
Having watched 100 races in the last couple of days, it's very rare that someone gets off the pace and manages to put it back together again.
Yeah, it has seemed a bit like that. I think, there's so much at the bottom that once you've already made a mistake at the top, I think a lot of guys are really just struggling to get that focus back, and it's hard to make up a lot of time because there's so much still to go wrong in the bottom, I guess.
Yeah.
Punts off the wall there. So only the second athlete to go.
And again, unfortunately for Jørgen, it's going to be a pretty poor time, one that would have put him way down towards the bottom of even the semi-final.
Well, 2 gone, 8 to go. What we're noticing, not the C2.
And keep it fast, he's got every chance.
You know this chap rather well?
I know him very well, yeah, trained with him a lot, and hoping for a good day for him today.
And he's the unique righter survivor.
Yeah, he is only righty in the final, so some slightly different choices for him.
Yeah.
In terms of which gates he'll maybe spin or how he'll go about some of the moves.
Come on, let's go.
But it's a good start for Ryan. Nice move off the start on the right.
Yes.
Good into this first up, good cross.
Great upstream there.
Made the final in Prague. See how he gets today.
Yeah, he's flowing really nicely actually. He just needs to get into a good rhythm.
Yeah, come on, the spin there. he goes straight.
Yeah, he's looking very, very solid so far.
Look at that, 4 seconds up.
Great.
And then there's a couple good moves for Ryan, and then it does get pretty difficult down the bottom on the right.
Well saved.
Is he a strong paddler? Can he make the boat go fast?
Yeah, I mean he's a very pretty well-rounded paddler. He's very good technically, but he's got pretty good power as well. Dropped a bit low there, but I think he actually kept the boat running, which can be a lot better than losing speed on that stopper. It's just going to come down to how he can get this last move, really.
Whereas
looks like he's going to go for the right-hand spin again. He did that on his first run pretty effectively. Oh, and that's gone very, very well. Really quick across the back into there. This is looking a pretty good run for Ryan.
Come on, the last up trim. Yeah.
Well, he's had to work for it, but he's putting together a very, very solid run. Crucially clear and fast. Okay, 5 more strokes to go.
Actually, sadly, it's not that great a run. I think that wouldn't have even been good enough for the final on first runs, perhaps.
He would have been in 11th. So, Denis Gagochenou bitterly disappointed to miss out on the London Games and came back in style. Obviously, the current Olympic champion. From Marseille, he said he's trains in similar conditions, so he's quite used to the wind, so that shouldn't affect him today.
Yeah, he unusually chooses to train somewhere where they don't really have a canoe slalom course. He's training on the sea, training on a flat water channel by the sea. Obviously, he'll go to Po a lot and very good on Po, which is big, difficult water. And he's one of these guys who, when he gets it right, he gets it really, really, really fast. And I feel a bit like he's perhaps owed a result now.
Okay.
It's been a wee while waiting.
Great one.
Well, he's still a bit like yourself, obviously a top C2 paddler as well.
Yeah, obviously paddled very, very effectively in the C2 with Fabian, and then moved on just back into C1, and current Olympic champion after such a long time waiting to even go to an Olympic Games.
Well, slowly, clearly going about his business. Doesn't look too worried.
No, he's very solid. Made no real mistakes yet. Perhaps not been blindingly fast, but a solid run. Oh, he was very lucky to rescue that there.
Yeah.
Really caught his blade under the boat, and had to be quick reactions not to end up with a 50 or a touch there.
Was that a 2 or a bit of wind?
That was a 2, I'm afraid. It's just getting away from him at the bottom of the course here.
Come on.
Time to go for 105.
Yeah, on the last
I think
line.
he's going to might be just inside that.
The time 101 was a good time.
Yeah, 99 fast. Yeah, I think if someone's going to put in a blistering fast run, this is one of the men who we're most likely to see. He was phenomenally good at the Europeans here a couple years ago now. And he was fast on his first run, just with touches. Touches often seem to be his problem, but he's certainly a very, very fast paddler, and it'd be good to see a good run from him here now.
Last year on the World Cup circuit, he looked like he'd fixed his problems with touches.
Well, I mean, he picked up a couple on his first run, I think, but he was so fast that it wasn't a problem, and he was still able to get himself into this final.
Let's see. He chose the spin.
Yeah, but he's done a good job of it. He really got away from the spin, didn't have to hold on to the bow much. He just let it go. And yeah, up on Dennis, who was also very good on the top section. So it's a good start.
He looks like he's putting everything into it.
Yeah, super controlled paddler, Benny. Always looks so smooth. The boat stays so flat. His strokes look so well positioned. But he's certainly pulling hard out there as well.
Yes, and the boat is all the time gliding. And
Oh, look at that, he's slowly edging ahead, 3/4 of a second up.
Yeah, took on the spin there, and he's done that pretty well. Dropped a fraction of a stroke, but kept it running. I think, assuming he gets this next move well, we're certainly going to be seeing him go into the lead.
Oh, there's a touch.
Another touch there.
That could be expensive.
Yeah, I mean, 2 seconds is a lot of time. Any touch can be expensive. I think we're just going to see him just go ahead of Dennis nevertheless.
99.
Another fast run.
Yes.
One touch. Still looking, he seems pretty pleased.
Moment, we're halfway through. Sidiris Tassiadis joined us in the commentary yesterday, so he knows exactly what you should do.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got Tassiadis and Martkleeberg, the two big names, if you like, still to go. The guys who are probably more expected, and then you've got 3 other guys in there who, you know, not quite as regular guys in the finals, but could certainly do something as well. Tassiadis is on incredible form, having medalled at the last 2 World Cups, and he'd be looking to get a 3rd medal out of 3 here.
And he was explaining yesterday that his line, where he wants to actually keep the boat going, is about 2 or 3 centimetres wide.
Yeah, I heard that. I'll be very impressed if he can stick on that line, and I think if he does, he will certainly win. But we'll see.
We'll see. He choose the straight line there.
Yeah.
Markkleeberg as the first.
Yeah, he's obviously decided there's a little bit of time in that and take a slightly more risky line on second run, try and gain a bit of time, and he's really going for it, which is good to see.
Wow, great control.
Pop up.
Well, we saw a German win a few minutes ago. Ricardo Funk convincingly beat Jess Fox.
And he's just up on Savcek. Obviously, Savcek had that touch late on and dropped a fraction off this, but pretty similar probably to Tassiadis. It's going to be looking good for the win as long as he stays clean.
Well, like you mentioned, he's had good runs so far. One in Prague, which is his first ever World Cup victory, and then second last weekend.
Yeah, that's hard to believe for a man of this caliber, really. But
and it seems it's going to be another one.
Yeah, he's looking.
Oh my goodness, Nuria!
Oh!
Wow. So he was just a fraction slower on the bottom than Savcek, but who knows? That could prove costly.
Lukas Rohan now to go. He was doing the trial runs in Prague, and he was putting down pretty spectacular times there. Didn't actually make the top 3, so he has limited exposure, but he's a good pedigree and a good athlete.
Yeah, Czechs have got a lot of good young guys coming up, and hard team to make for them at the minute. There's 4 or 5 really young, really good guys.
Yes, and they're pushing the team.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, as I said, you know, not in the top 3, but has had the opportunity to race here and got himself right up there in the final.
Maybe something to prove to himself, or we'll see. Well, still within medal pace. Was.
I think, yeah, with that touch, he's going to very much struggle to beat the top 2 guys at the minute. But that 3rd place is still there to get into.
We'll see at the next split. Well, catch it, that move.
Yeah, in and out on the 1 stroke, probably better than we've seen most of the guys do that so far, but he has got a bit of time to make up, I think.
As you can see, 4 seconds down. What do you guys think of the idea of having your own choice of music when you're coming down? Does that influence, or?
It's a bit of fun. I don't know. I don't really see the harm in it. It's quite a good laugh. It's amusing to see what people choose.
And it's true that you chose the bagpipes?
Well, unfortunately, you have to make the final first.
Okay. Well, here it comes. Not bad. Could have a medal.
Not bad. No.
4th, just outside.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So Adam Burgess, who had a bit of problem, didn't have surgery, did he? But he had problems with the shoulder, I believe.
Yeah, he's been struggling a little bit with injury, but he looks to be back now. And he had a really, really good season last year, and he's just.
Let's see how he gets today.
Just been shy of those medals, but he's getting closer, definitely.
Again, in the commentary yesterday. So, what's the idea with the arm bands to keep the arms wrist
I'm going to be honest, I don't actually know, but yeah, maybe just to keep your forearms warm. I'll have to ask Adam so that I know if I'm asked again in commentary. I have to make it up.
Oh, that's close.
Yeah, he got a good turn in though, and pretty good spin. He's off to a solid start, and he's actually, I don't think he's going to be far off Tasiadis at all.
Look at that. It's half
A second up. Very, very good start for Adam.
Well catched at the
You can keep it flowing like this. Especially, you know, those guys sitting in the top place at the minute have got touches, so he's got a couple of seconds to play with. Although he just let himself get stalled out into that right-hand eddy. I've seen quite a few people do that, and it can cost you quite a bit of time because the boat's slowed down and you've got to re-accelerate in this bit, which is already tiring and hard to keep the boat moving.
I think he stressed that in after his semi-final that
yeah,
he's so tired after the end.
Giving away a bit of his advantage, I think, just with that burying the boat in the eddy. But you know, if you consider these guys have got a touch, he's still actually headed to for that first place if he can keep on pace with them on this bottom section.
And when I was speaking did a portrait fairly recently on Adam and Ryan Wesley, they were saying that Uncle David's inspiring them to go better and better.
I mean, it's really good that these guys are pushing on so well. They've come on a huge amount, and in training all the time, it's close between all of us.
Moves into second place.
Very, very good run from Adam, and every chance of hanging on for a medal there. He needs one.
Anzi Berdic had a couple of wins in a row 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, not many people do that. Very, very impressive to win 2 World Cups in a row.
Was it Lassalle and Techno, I believe?
Yeah, and he's been a wee while off the podium, but you know, he's still very fast, and if he gets it right, he can be right up there, as we saw on his first run today.
Oh, that's not what you want.
No, I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, obviously, 2 of those guys currently in top places have both got a penalty, or 2 penalties. I think
you see the wind on here; it's really pushing them around, isn't it?
It does look to have picked up a bit, which is unfortunate. Going to be really hard for him to put those 2 penalties behind him now. He would need a blisteringly fast run, I think, to get onto the podium with 2 touches. Adam Burgess will certainly be watching, thinking he's looking very, very good for a podium finish now.
Will this be his first medal? I should know this.
I believe so, yes. He's medalled at under 23 level, but I don't think he's ever medalled at senior level.
Yeah, he won the gold, didn't he, under 23s?
Yes, he did.
Well, anyway, let's concentrate on Anze. He's 7.2 off the pace, so unfortunately it's over today. And Yuria, as a C1, you enjoyed the racing yesterday? It's good to see you back on the podium.
Yes, thank you. It's been great yesterday. Inside the race, I feel me so confident, and it was great, the final result.
So unfortunately not going to be Andrzej Barcic's day today. Real shame for him. We've just got Michał Martyka now to I think a lot of people will be expecting something special for him. We know he's not going to hold back. He's going to take everything on. He's going to go forward if he can, I imagine, like he did in his first run.
Yes, and after the semi-final,
lightened up a bit, got a bit more relaxed attitude towards it, and yeah, he's put on social media taking the mick out of himself when he fell in Augsburg, which I don't think you'd have seen that a long time ago. But still paddling so well. I think the field's just so strong these days that you can't afford little mistakes, which at one time he could, and he would still end up perhaps on the top spot, whereas now a little mistake and you might not even be in the final.
He dabbled with a different colour boat a couple of years ago, and now he's back to red.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is the move he took on forwards very effectively on first run. Oh, it's not looking very good. I think he's still goes for it anyway. You have got quite a bit of time to get back to this gate.
Well done.
Half a second down, so it's still possible.
It certainly is. Still bear in mind, there's a touch on Tasiadis' run, so he's still got 1.6 seconds almost to play with.
And I have the impression he's one of the athletes that the kayakers, the canoeists, everyone watches.
Yeah, I mean, his style is so good. He was really kind of ahead of the pack with the way that he paddles, with how he takes things on. You know, his style of sitting really low, paddling really smooth. And
well, he's in touch.
He's in touch.
Exactly on the same
Yes,
the
on the
same
same
margin as he
time,
was
yes.
at the first split. Lost a bit of time there,
Yeah.
but I think he's
It
really...
will depend if he penalty or not.
If he stays clean and doesn't make a drastic mistake, I think we're going to see him take the lead.
Well, as he's the last athlete. Oh no, he's the last athlete down.
Well, can he fight for
medal.
third place now or second place? It's going to be
It's gonna be close.
it's going to
It's
be
gonna
really,
close.
really tough
There's only
now.
0.36 between first and third.
100.
Wow! Wow! Despite that touch, he was obviously very, very
Despite the
quick with that
touch.
punt.
I've been doing this job for
Look at
5
Peter's
years,
smile.
and that's the first time I've seen him smile after a race.
That's great. Well done.
It's nice to see someone who puts in
to 2 or 3 of the events in a row. Anyway, here we go. It's no asterisks, which is good news. Miguel Markkleeberg takes the gold for Slovakia. Sidious Tassiadis the silver for Germany, and Adam Burgess the bronze for Great Britain, with Savchek, Rohan, Wesley, Vershik, Thomas and Badura all coming in as well. I just think we need to say a word for the judging this weekend. There's been very, very few asterisks. All the problems have been sorted out very quickly.